Can I go to the sleepover?
I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
My name is Michael Crisp, and I'm an author, filmmaker, musician, writer. I've always been a huge fan of documentary films, and after watching several of them and not really having any film experience, I thought it would be a good idea to try and attempt to make a documentary film. I made that decision even before I thought about what the subject matter would be. And then a few weeks later, it was, I believe, a February day. I was getting the Herald Leader at the time, and I get this big edition delivered to me. And as I walk down the driveway, I pick it up, and right there on the front page it says, we are now, the headline was something about celebrating the 50-year anniversary of the Floyd County school bus wreck of 1958. When I was walking up the driveway with that newspaper, I couldn't take my eyes off of it because I was familiar with that wreck, but it was just captivating on many levels. And as I'm walking back to the house looking at the front page, I knew I'm going to do a documentary film about this. I'm going to get to work immediately on it. Do I know how to make a movie? No, but I'm going to figure it out, and we're going to do it. And so that's what sparked the interest. After that, I think I made about 6 or 7 more documentary films. I always wanted to be an author. I was just waiting for the right opportunity. And after The Very Worst Thing came out, the documentary film, there was such an appetite for, especially in Kentucky, for some additional information about that film and our experiences making the film. So my first book was actually called The Making of The Very Worst Thing, and it gives an inside look about our experiences being brand new filmmakers, learning as we go how to make a film, and also how to do it with sensitivity and respect to a very emotional subject. With filmmaking, especially documentary filmmaking, you learn how to tell a story, and then that served a bit as a template for being able to actually write and create a book that would tell a story. So while we were making The Very Worst Thing, and I believe even after I had released the book about making The Very Worst Thing, half the people I would interview in Floyd County would say, you need to do a book or a movie about Merle Baldridge. And Merle Baldridge, her first name is spelled Muriel, but everybody in Floyd County that knew her in the 1940s would call her Merle. She was a cheerleader who was found in 1949 mysteriously murdered under a famous bridge out there in Floyd County. And as soon as The Very Worst Thing wrapped, I started working on that book, and that was probably, it's a cold case to this day, but it was probably the first book that kind of, as an author, put me on the map. I think I've got 10 books that I've published. My most recent work are a couple of really fun books. They're Kentucky humor, and they're called It's a Kentucky Thing Y'all Wouldn't Understand, and then It's a Kentucky Thing Y'all Wouldn't Understand Part 2, or You Still Wouldn't Understand, something like that. What I did with those books is I compiled the top 100 old country Southern sayings that you hear growing up in Kentucky, and I explore the meanings behind a lot of those sayings. You can purchase all of my books at michaelcrisponline.com. That's my website. I provide links to get on Amazon from that page, and you can purchase my books there. But yeah, that's probably the best jumping off point. In Georgetown, there are 5 or 6 places that you can go into a store and buy them. So there are boutiques like Misbehavin' downtown, Amerson Farms, there's Evans Orchard, The Tourism Commission, you can actually go to their building. I believe you can also pick them up at Georgetown Flowers and Gifts. I apologize if I'm missing anybody else, but there's about 100 or 125 stores throughout Kentucky that you can just walk into a boutique, bookstore, gift shop, and purchase them that way too. The most important thing that I would say to someone who has a dream about writing a book or making a film or telling a story is go ahead and do it. Some of my favorite moments from the art that I create are the stories from people that will come to me and tell me what type of impact they had that my book or my film or something might have had on their lives. I love it when it's a small impact and I gave them a really great laugh, something really funny, something that just made their day. But I also love it if there was something very profound that really changed the way they think or changed the way they feel about something and gave them something to think about. I think that history teaches so many great lessons. History can also entertain us. I just think it's, and I bring up history because most of my projects involve history to some extent. But I say get out there and do it. Have fun, follow your dream, and do it.